Welcome to Cisco Live,
Las Vegas, and we are bringing to you the first ever basement series.
Out of the Basement.
Woohoo!
All right. On this episode of the Basement series, and we are out of the basement, we are in Las Vegas at Cisco Live, we are going to be talking about eating our own dog food.
No. Drink your own champagne.
We are going to be drinking our own champagne. And really, that means we're going to be talking about Customer Zero. And who's Customer Zero? Customer Zero, well, it's Cisco. And we have, we have a great special guest, very special guest with us to talk about Customer Zero and what we're doing with our own network. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Happy to do so. So I'm Jon Heaton, Cisco IT, Customer Zero.
Cool.
And I have the best job at Cisco.
No.
Maybe not.
We have the best job.
I'm pretty sure I do. I mean, I get to play with all the latest technology, try it out first, put it together into solutions, break it, fix it. It's awesome. My engineers love
I must say, that does sound like
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Especially when things succeed, right? They come out the other end and they're great products and solutions that our customers can consume. It's awesome.
Love that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, so Cisco, a really big company, it seems like you would always have access to the latest gear and you can always deploy the latest gear. Is that basically what you're saying? You can use all the latest stuff, right?
Well, yes, but we have a really large IT deployment of network. Mm-hmm. We have over 400 sites out there, or you can say buildings. What Customer Zero does is we run a subset of that, about 5%. So 7 campus buildings and 6 branch offices, but they're real, right? Real people, real network traffic, doing real work. And so it allows us to try out these latest and greatest things in a real environment and say, hey, it really works. And then when they succeed, we work with our partners on the scale side to take it all the way out
to everything else. Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So as a Customer Zero, what is really your mission and what is it that you do?
Well, show us that slide. Slide number 1 is already there.
Yeah.
It's already there, and I'm looking at it.
You can.
You are now looking at it.
You're allowed to look at it. That's all right.
Look at it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
You can look at it.
Pretty simple, really. I mean, as I said, we do that early adoption so that we're proving the quality of these products. So when we find something early, we're talking to our engineering brothers and saying, hey, if you just tweak this a little bit, it can be better. Or we found a bug. We try to find bugs before customers do. And sometimes we engage even earlier in the process, so we can embed, and have done this in the past with really important things like ACI or DNA Center. We take an engineer and they go sit with the development teams for months to explain to them how an enterprise IT operator would want to use something like their products.
Right.
So you're basically saying that we, as the users in the Cisco network, were guinea pigs?
Absolutely. You've probably experienced it sometimes.
I never realized it. But that's how smooth it is.
Yeah.
But
so the other couple of things, just quick points. The value that we try to generate is better products that end up in the customer's hands and improving them at a credible scale.
Right.
Yeah, because when you say scale, you say 400 sites. But keep in mind, we have close to 80,000 employees.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's just the employees too, because you interface a lot with partners and with what are they used to be called extranets, right?
They're still there.
Are they still
They're
there? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's a huge environment, and that's why it's important to be able to have an environment where we can try out things that we can increase risk without really severely impacting the business if something goes wrong with these new products. So it's about the balance of risk and doing innovation in a little bit smaller environment than trying to roll it out everywhere.
So talking about trying things out, I want to go to a little thing that happened about 2 years ago when overnight the whole world had to start working from home.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was there. That must have been a difficult week for you, I would say.
So it was a difficult 3 weeks.
Okay.
Is what happened. So we started hearing, and this is big IT. This is not customer zero anymore. This is all of Cisco.
Yeah.
So to your point, 80,000 employees and roughly 60,000 people that connect who are partners of some sort or another, right? We were very fortunate because we have a fairly significant presence in China. So we started hearing things early. I started thinking about what's going to happen.
We need to prepare.
And our plans, though, were contained. They were more like, okay, if something bad happens in China, we can address China. That's not a problem. No one thought about the whole world going home in 2 weeks. But that's exactly what happened, right? So 2 weeks later, Cisco went home.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I remember.
We were so lucky that we had already deployed VPN technology, so AnyConnect VPN, and had it actually at a pretty good scale. So I don't know if you remember when you went home, you were probably able to connect and do your job,
I was,
right?
absolutely.
And seriously, it was about luck.
Yeah.
To some extent, because we had refreshed some of our infrastructure recently, and so we had extra capacity. We had planned ahead, and there was just a few places where we had to go and deploy additional firewalls to build that capacity. So amazingly enough, Cisco was able to continue working almost without interruption or hindrance.
That is a
Wow.
huge achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make that happen. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So the Catalyst stack, the Catalyst full stack, it's a bunch of different products. They work together. You would consider yourself a Catalyst full stack customer. Tell us about some of the technologies that you use, and specifically as we get back into the office, and now we're kind of entering this hybrid phase. How has some of the technologies in the Catalyst full stack helped solve some of the challenges that have arisen?
Magic.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
We had luck earlier. You didn't have a good sound for luck. We got magic. That's good. Let's bring up that slide that shows the numbers. So just to give you an idea of our environment.
Yeah.
And, you know, we
Slide to the numbers. That's the next one.
yeah. Sorry about that.
it's
Slide
all
3.
good. There you go.
So slide 3. So our environment, as I mentioned.
So let's say that. Let's bring up the numbers again.
Okay. So
1 second.
yeah. So say the.
So let's bring up the numbers. I want to show you guys what our environment looks like.
Love it.
Cisco's environment is huge, and you know, funny enough, maybe it's not funny, but with COVID, we ended up reducing this environment, right? So we were already planning on reducing our footprint in terms of sites, so that we could better optimize our space. Not a surprise; everyone wants to do that.
Yeah, real estate reduction models. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
it's been going on for a while.
COVID really accelerated that. It made it more important because we weren't there. But nonetheless, we still have 400 some offices out there. It's a lot. Now, what we were doing with Catalyst was deploying this globally, and it takes us time. We have 400 sites. We can't do them all overnight, right? So it takes 2 or 3, sometimes even longer, years to deploy the technology. For us, the driver wasn't so much deploying the latest and greatest Catalyst or even the wireless infrastructure, the Catalyst access points. For us, the driver was automation. So we do, like every IT shop, we're under constant pressure to reduce costs and be more efficient with less. The only way we can do that is automation. So being able to have a fully ready, in terms of DNA center management, infrastructure allows us to automate and manage things much more efficiently. So you'll see on the right-hand side, we have 300 some sites that are what we call DNA ready. So those are the latest, all full stack Catalyst infrastructure, right?
So Catalyst switching, Catalyst wireless, Catalyst routing, supported by DNA Center, ICE for the policies, Umbrella, Stealth Watch, DNA Spaces, of course.
Yeah, so spaces, there's a separate number you'll see. We've gotten about halfway there.
Okay.
But yes, basically, in terms of management from DNA Center, those 300 sites. But you'll see a number on the left-hand side, 469, is it?
Yeah.
469, that's our total number, and we actually onboarded all of those to DNA Center as well. So the additional number there are sites that have not yet been fully upgraded. So older wireless LAN controllers, or things
sure.
like that are not fully supported by DNA Center. But our engineers found that SWIM, software image management, was so awesome that they onboarded the sites that weren't ready.
I can imagine. Every time when I'm presenting DNA or DNA Center to our customers, they constantly tell me how software inventory management, which is already in DNA Essentials, how much efforts it saved them, how much time it saved them to be running that network so much smoother, especially in situations of a P-cert or an issue with a software release, to fix the problems. Customers keep coming back and saying,
Yeah, and so engineers, I know that that's the audience here, right? Engineers have to complain about something.
Of course.
Right? Always.
Of course.
It might be Dutch beer they complain about. But in any case, they complain about things, and they used to complain about the fact that they had to work on weekends and late hours doing software image management. And now with DNA Center, we've automated all that. So these engineers are now doing things in a more follow the sun model, where they can do the deployment in a follow the sun model. So the guys in America are handling the infrastructure in Europe, and India is handling the US. And so they're spending only a few hours where it used to be they spent a whole weekend, right? Wow. And so engineers now, because they have to complain about something,
of course,
they complain about the piece that we can't automate yet, which is the integration between our IT service management system and DNA Center. So we haven't done that yet. So then now they complain about having to just do the data entry of, I'm going to do this change on this date and it needs these approvals. And so that's what they
every
complain
engineer
about.
hates documentation.
Yeah.
That's
But what I also like here is that engineers always told us we don't want a GUI, we want command line, and now they're complaining that why can I not do this in the GUI?
That's exactly
why do I have
right.
to go back in the command line?
yeah, right? It's crazy.
So we are already. This is a great conversation, but I really want to know this, because we started this whole basement series out of my basement, my home, and I want to know about your home network and your home setup. Now, with your knowledge and your experience from running and managing that whole global Cisco network, I want to know how much of that have you applied in your home network?
Well, it's kind of amusing because I am a customer zero person. I end up having all those new access mechanisms to try out.
You got to try them out from somewhere.
Exactly. So we deploy these things. So some of them are cloud-based. So we're going to be talking about here at Live, and I know customers are hearing about this now, Cisco plus Secure Connect Now, which is a VPN as a service offering. So we're trying that out. We're trying out our own cloud-based firewall, VPN as a service type of offering as well. So I have that, right? So I have both of those, and I'm also trying out hardware-based models. So particularly for our executives, we like to manage them more closely, have more visibility to their connections, and be able to manage that better. And so I'm running a Meraki virtual office as well.
That's cool.
Which does wireless and wired for me. So I have my collaboration endpoint wired. So that there's no worry about that kind of bandwidth. And then in my house, right, I also have the networks managed separately, so that my home network, even though they're running the same ISP connection, that I'm prioritizing my traffic over my kids who are on their
just doing
PlayStation
homework
or whatever.
They're doing homework,
Right.
on TikTok, Netflix, Amazon.
Seems that a lot of bandwidth they consume.
So I heard cloud a lot, but I can only imagine you have a good amount of hardware at home. So do you just park the cars in the driveway, or did you create one of those barn dominiums in the back?
So surprisingly not. I do not have a lot of hardware in my house.
All right. Well, the power company is probably happy about that too, and your power bill.
How sustainable?
How sustainable?
I'm
Exactly.
trying. I'm trying to do my part.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So, John, I loved it. I loved everything that you shared with us, how we are actually the guinea pigs without us even knowing that.
I feel like I'm the hamster going through the tube, I don't know if that's true. Am I in the Matrix?
Maybe.
So, what I would like to ask you is actually, we would like to do a follow-up on this conversation.
We'd love to have you back, if you don't mind. We can have you back I don't want to sound weird, but to the basement.
Yeah, the basement studios.
Yeah, the basement studios. Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah,
I would love to come
absolutely.
back again. You know, as
Yeah,
we were
thank you so
talking
much.
earlier before we
Yeah.
started, just no Dutch beer.
No.
Got it.
Got
We'll
it.
Get some Belgian beer in there or
Belgian beer.
something. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us.
On
right,
that,
thank you,
thank
guys.
you very much, John. That's fantastic. Thank you very
That
much.
was good. Excellent job. Thank you. Yeah.